Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, B Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. Well, I do what I do for you. Got something nice for you today. I'm going to God mode. Just a heads up, you know how I do. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, the message in life. I give stories for life lessons. I give life lessons for you can adapt them, learn them, use them for the way they're intended to benefit you. I'm only telling you what I've experienced, what I know. That's the way I do. Let's go for you. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment with knowledge of self. Right thinking is way of life, and that's what it is for me. Through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of obtaining spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, and I'm on it as best I can. I got a whole bunch of information to continue to give you to help you do just that. Know thyself. You tune in. I'm here every day to give you what you need. All you got to do is tune in and get it. Let's go. I appreciate you too. The question, do you know you? I ask that is rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes or think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right? Think of know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Right? Think I got a question. Let's talk about how to make something from nothing but a thought. What you mean? A thought creates the motivation for action. Okay? So, in the beginning, they said there was the word. No, there was nothing. Okay? The noon, pretty much. Bunch of possibilities, numerous, unlimited potential. But at that time, nothing. So, when he thought, but, excuse me, yeah, it was nothing but the noon. That's God resting. God at rest was just, ain't nothing going on right now. So now, with nothing but potential, all right? God thought of creation. And from that thought, creation began. From what? His thoughts and the power to bring yourself into existence through a thought. That's consciousness at its best. When you got the Trinity of God, I tell you, you got Amen, Ra, Ptah. Amen is who you pray. When you finish praying, you give praise to the hidden God. That's the first concept. The second part of the Trinity is Ra. That's that thing up in the sky. Okay, that's visual. You can see God's glory. The third part is man. He became man so that man can become God. Why? Because you have to become conscious of who you are. Hence, you got to make something from what? Nothing but a thought. That's what God did. That's what He did. That's the power we have to create. We can create in our mind and manifest whatever we think, but we can't procreate without what? The opposite sex. It's a physical thing. But creation starts in the mind. Let's go. Hope you get the concept. I'm about to get it on. Ptah is the creator God aspect. That's the third part of the Trinity of God. Out of the Trinity of God. Amen. Hidden, Ra, seen, Ptah, created. Physical form. Everything in creation, everything in creation started from a thought. Even for humans, everything we do before we do it starts with a thought. Okay? So the power of thought, the power of being conscious, the conscious is knowing, the thought is putting it into action. Now, you can manifest through what? The thought. Once you have it, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. That's God's way. That's the truth. That's how he did it. We made in his image. We can do the same thing. Okay? We can't create life without another part of us. We only have the equation. Okay? But within you, you the whole equation. So self-knowledge, understanding yourself, knowing thyself and God are one. Now you have self-knowledge. You're enlightened to who? Yourself. And when it's God, it's your higher self. Knowing your lower self, that's the ego self. That's a gimme. Don't ride that wire. He ain't the winning horse. Okay? Trust me. So you can manifest through what? Your thoughts. Once you have it, you should have God. What? God was the thought. Excuse me. God started out everything with a thought. Once you have the ability to do that, that's how you become God-like. By what? Manifesting through your thoughts, making them happen for reality. They said uttering, hecker, words of power. He named everything. That's why we label everything. Why? That's the power that we have once we can manifest our thoughts into reality. God did the same thing. What makes us in him, what makes us in his image is that we can do the same thing. God just has to what? Think it. And it what? It becomes. It exists. That's ultimate power. And guess what? We also have the same power. Once we learn how to use this thing between our ears, the brain, excuse me, that thing in the middle called the pineal gland, we call the third eye, excuse me. Once you activate that, that becomes your God connection, your God conscious. Now, why? The third eye is open, the pineal has been activated. That's God's transmitter. Conceptual. Everything, like they say, allegedly, no, conceptually. I just give you concepts. You got to manifest it for yourself. To find out if it's true or not, fact check me. Practice. That's all you gotta do. I ain't got a problem with that. I give it to you for that purpose. Not to debate, not to question, no, just to implement it. Let's go. God, aka thought, made what? Flesh, man. Hello? Flesh is us with what? God's power. From the human being perspective, we can create from our thoughts just like he did. We create him from a thought. And once we start getting the proof of who he is, you know him. That's how you know God. Well, how you know God? How you know God? If you haven't made a personal connection, you don't know God. You just believe in him. You just assume it. But once you had that personal connection, now you know. That's the goal of all right thinking. I want you to have your own personal connection to God. That's my job, to get you to do just that. Sorry, I get excited. God can be, watch this, nothing, 1 minute, just the noon, nothing going on, and then whole universe created the next minute. That's power, aka the Big Bang. Still ain't gonna get into that concept, but that whole the Big Bang thing, we call it creation. All right, God made what? Creation perfect, no flaws in nature. Nope. So he decided, I want to test this thing out. He got into man so the man could create God for himself. And when he do what he got to do, he will know God for himself. So all that what about teaching somebody? I'm not trying to teach you about God. I'm not trying to tell you how good. No, I'm trying to get you to God so you can know him for yourself. That's it. So I don't do a whole bunch of preaching about how good God is. No. I haven't got a lesson for you. For how good it is to serve God. But yeah, the concept is you have to know him. I ain't trying to tell you about him. I want to try to get you to him. That's my mindset. Watch this. God hides. Why? From man. Where he hide? Inside man. hmm He said we could hide up here. He can go there. Down the bottom of the ocean, he can go there. The one place man won't go to look for God is within himself. Why? Because religion told you God was out there. The original concept is God is in here. In any spiritual enlightened Buddhists, uh, the Indians, they would tell you, would ask you what God is. Not up there, but a lot of people think. I point up there because that's the concept of heaven. Newt, which covers the earth. That's where she is. So you point up to represent her, not she is God. Again, every aspect of nature is God. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, God hides in himself in man. It's and its most prized creation, what? Humans. He don't have to hide in animals. They don't need him. He hides in man because man is conscious who can know him. Get the concept? Hopefully it is. Let's move on. Now, I thought, right thinking, into existence. Just like God thought to create the universe. Same thing. Whatever you thought that you manifest, you thought it first. Get the concept here? Like God, like God created the universe from what? A thought. Right thinking philosophy was created from my mind, my thoughts. I had been studying my Egyptian yoga philosophy over 20 years, learning it and implementing, just learning it. At a certain point in time, I said, and all in 20 years, and all I had all this knowledge after accumulating, just studying, just reading my books. I wasn't planning on teaching. I was just acquiring information, becoming better me, being, knowing the truth, all that good stuff. Fine. Okay, but when I realized one thing, when I did it, oh, I got to tell other people about this. But when I was first going through it, people thought I was crazy. I'm laughing about that concept. It's funny now because where I was coming from, they wasn't even there. They wasn't even close. I've been talking consciousness for the last 10 years. So I'm glad that everybody's starting to come around. So again, I'm like Little Richard. I got that from me. Remember, my show was, no big deal. But again, we are what our thoughts manifest to prove who we are. Okay? Now, I told I had been studying all the time, right? So I had all this knowledge, I think I'm pretty smart. I'm doing all right. I'm feeling good about myself. And I end up taking my daughter to college in Michigan and met a guy who let me come into his place and start speaking. And the rest is history, I just say. And when I came from that trip, I told my brother, yo, man, I want, I want, I want to talk to people. I want to teach. I got some stuff to say. And he had a broadcast station, Can You Feel Us.com. You go there, see my old stuff. I started with them. Yeah. On the Tuesday, I told him that. On the Saturday, I was in front of the microphone, and I've been doing it ever since. That's quick breakdown. But why I told him I had something to teach. I wanted to learn. Over the years, I wanted to share with people. It went over pretty well, and I have been doing it ever since. I have been living by my Mayat philosophy. I deem it for over 20 years, but when I started teaching it, I just called it right thinking philosophy. So I didn't just create a whole, no, I just practiced and mastered the art. And like Bruce Lee did with Jet Kune Do, he's a Shaolin monk. I'm a right thinker. I'm a she taught netherine. I know that, but if I put my twist on it, like Bruce did his, it's right thinking philosophy. That's all. And my stories is not mythological, they're personal. That's the hook. Let's go. So that's my whole idea. Creation from inside me. And everything is about me. Okay. Ain't that how God when the out the universe? Everything that here is by God. This is his world. Right thinking philosophy, philosophically is my world. That's all. I want you to get the concept. I ain't ego tripping. He think, I already know I'm God, so all that think I'm God don't mean nothing. All right. But I realized I had mastered something that was good. Living a good life. Not selling drugs. Okay. And my brother gave me my own show. And to do that, and that was what? That was back in 2015. It's almost wow. Okay, so it's been a minute, and I haven't stopped since. I do this. I start out. I was once a week. That was easy. That was fun. I had time to sit back and do my thing, and always prepared. Now I do it every day. Oh, this is a grind. I love this. This keeps me busy. All right, so let me talk about this. Let me wrap this up right quick. Now, I came up with the concept of right thinking again from a thought, but from that thought, I had to manifest it, and I made it a way of life. I brought it to fruition. I brought it to life, so to speak. And this is what it is. Now, what happened is I figured it out. If I can teach a philosophy that I live by, that ain't hard to do. That's right down my alley. So here I am. I got my own channel. I produce. I do everything on my own. So it's a one man show. No fanfare, no extras. I don't do none of that. I teach. So I may give you a joke or two here, drop a line or two, but no, I'm here to do one thing: enlighten you. Trust me. All right, let's go. So I've been doing this, practicing for 20 years. Then I've been living it for the last 10 years and teaching it for the last 9. Wow. Okay, let's go. Moving on. But the concept is I know the power of what? Thinking or manifesting your thoughts. Why? I live them. I made it happen so I can teach from a perspective of what? My experience. Okay? I know we all think. And that's what the brain, because that's what the brain is done. That's what it's for. That's his job. But a lot of us don't think right. They was thinking, it just wasn't right. Whenever you're doing something, you're going to, it's a thought that generates you. So whatever thoughts that you have, that's what you're going to do. Understand that. You are what your thoughts present you to be. I coined right thoughts at one time. I had to change the name. I fought for right thinking. So I changed it to right thoughts. Same thing. Okay, why? It's generating concepts from where? Within, up here. It's still going on with this. And right thoughts also because why? I know the power of what? Thoughts. Mhm. That's where God resides. Because I keep telling you, in between your ears. For you, every individual, God is in it. He's here, but you need to make that conscious understanding from here. That's why I give you knowledge. That's why I give you lessons that you can implement for yourself. And once you do those things, He'll make His presence known to you. That's how you get to Him. To make the snake come to life, you gotta live righteous. They play the flute and they do, yeah, but the whole concept is to get that kundalini flowing by living right. Trust me. I got a mother-in-law, when she told me when she was a little girl, doing wrong things just didn't set well with her. So for the rest of her life, she didn't do nothing that was wrong. Not that she's perfect, beautiful person because of that. We need more of that. Okay, but I told her, you raised in a family where they obviously taught you the first 7 years of your life, your program was good. We need programs like that. Let's start programming our young with good and truth. That's all we gotta do. They become better people. Sorry about that, but that's who I talk to, people who have experienced God, not who believe in God. I don't need a fan. If you're a God fan, leave me be. Why? I'm not a fan. Simple. Fan, who God? Yeah, God, rah, rah, rah. System. I don't do that nonsense. I serve Him. Let's go. And we are down here. Now, spiritual discipline is what spiritual people follow. Okay? It's following your thoughts, your higher self, what righteousness, doing the right thing. That ain't hard to do. It ain't brain surgery. You don't need a college degree. All you gotta do is be. Do. And if you let your thoughts dictate bad stuff, you still ego tripping. Get past the ego, conquer the ego. I can tell you the first step in anything is conquering that ego self. Last one. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. Right thinking philosophy. Just like the world started where? Within my thought process, my inner being. So that makes me God. In right thinking philosophy, I am the creator. So yeah, I am the all of that that is in total. That's all. God do the same thing with everything. I just do it on my little level. Okay. Picking my spot, staying in my lane, and doing what I do. Enlighten you. Let's go. Wrapping it up. Right thinking philosophy is my creation. That makes me God of what? That philosophical concept. That's all. I'm not ego tripping, but it puts me in a perspective where, yeah, this is mine. I own it. I run it. I control it. I teach it. So that's what the whole point I'm trying to make to you. If you got something that's good, give it to the people. I ain't charging. I'm giving you this. They want me to charge. I ain't doing that. But moving on. In my right thinking philosophy world, teaching you to know you, aka God, for yourself through what? Righteous living, doing the right thing. Prayer and meditation is the caveat. But prayer without no meditation or works don't work anyway. So there's got to be work done. Meditation will help. Trust me. That's how you talk to God. Ancient times, I don't know why, but everybody talked to God. Then when it come out biblical part, only certain people talk to God. Moses and Jade. No, God is in everybody. It's just those who woke up, like the Buddha, became conscious, like right thinkers. I'm trying to get you conscious so you can talk to God for yourself. When I did this, now it's been about 9 years. I told my brother I talked to God. He said, "You can tell people that." Now everybody, I tell everybody I talk to God every day. Ain't no problem. See how things change? Progressive. So moving on. Let me wrap this up. Again, I appreciate you. I know the way to God. Why? I became God conscious. So I know how I did it. I can tell you it didn't happen by accident. Well, sometimes what? Because I just doing studying and living. So the accident was I found out. But I knew what I was doing, studying and putting in the work. Simple. I'm still doing it. Okay? Now, you find God through what? Doing good deeds, living a righteous life, and more important, educate yourself about yourself. Hence, know thyself. Last note. God is in our hearts. I keep telling you that. And we got to know that between our ears, aka heart, mind, coherence. To know thyself is to have the consciousness and the feeling and understanding from divine qualities, understanding, which is from the heart. That's the God conscious. You become one with yourself. Now you know thyself. Wrapping it up. Hope the last message gets across. Right thinkers also, watch this, have the power to what? Manifest. If you can conceive it, you can achieve it. And that's the power to manifest your own something from what? Nothing but a thought. If you thought it, you can achieve it. So again, thinking and thought, too much, pretty much the same thing. But thoughts are generated to do what? Be manifested. That's what God does. That's the God in you. That's the image that we should follow behind God. Create good things. We create a whole lot of bad stuff, but be the right thinker, do the right thing, know thyself.